you so much, Weekend. My weekend was great.
Wonderful. So let's get into it. The psychology of debt, wrong reasons for borrowing.
Yes, Weekend, we started this interesting topic. I received a lot of calls, SMS on my WhatsApp. People, it was an eye-opener. There are so many things that we do that we are not supposed to do with borrowed monies. So let me just take a quick recap of what we shared last week. When we're looking at the psychology of debt, we're looking at your relationship with debt is a reflection of your money mindset. Debt itself is not intrinsically bad or good, but it is the mindset of the borrower that makes the debt bad or a good debt. So debt is a wonderful tool that you can use to design, fashion whatsoever that you want. If you have got the knowledge and the skill on how to use the debt, it's just like a tool. But if you don't have the knowledge, you end up destroying the thing that you want to build, or you end up hating yourself in the process because you don't have the knowledge and the skill on how to use that particular tool. So a lot of people have used debt to change their financial fortunes, companies, nations at large. So debt is not bad or good. It is the mindset of the borrower that makes the debt bad. So we were talking about money mindsets in terms of one's attitude, beliefs, and emotions that influences somebody's financial habits and behaviors, which is largely brought about by our personal experiences, our upbringing, how we were raised, our money mindset, then the ones that shapes us in the way how we think regarding debts. And we said that people fall into three categories regarding the psychology of debt. We have got non-borrowers, we have got smart borrowers, then we have got foolish borrowers. Mm-hmm. And we say that non-borrowers are those people with the psychology that I want to live a debt-free life. They don't want any drama that comes with debts. They want their peace and their freedom. Even if they are given debts, even someone wants to give them a loan that is interest-free, they will not take it. Then we have got smart borrowers. These are people with financial intelligence, people who know how to use the tool called debt in order to upgrade their net worth in their life. They can actually even take a mortgage. They can do personal development where they're upgrading in terms of their education in order for them to make more income in the process. Then we zeroed in on where we are going to continue on foolish borrowers or dumb borrowers. We were saying that this is the group of people that lack a financial intelligence in their borrowing. They borrow for things that doesn't bring income, that decreases in value, and that has no lasting monetary value. So chekutanga chatakataura last week takataura pamusoro pekuti people borrow for luxury goods, magadgets akafana nema-iPhone. Haufani kutenga phone inodhura nekuda kwechikwereti. Takataura pamusoro penyaya yema-designers vanoda kupfeka mbatya dzemhando yepamusoro nemari yechikwereti. Takataura pamusoro penyaya yema-extravagant vacations nemari yechikwereti. Tikati no, this is a big no, we must not borrow for this. Then we talk about wedding and ceremonies. Kuda kuti azimchato suhombe rekuti ure the talk of the town.
Yes, they must know.
Ndakachata.
Yes.
But nemari yechipande uchibva paipo unenge uri 20 vanhu vari kukufonera wane stress wakutanga marriage yako on a wrong foundation. Takataura pamusoro pekuti no, you can have some budget friendly options emuchato. Wotochata zvako, chakakosha ndiwe marriage officer, maybe few relatives atopera kana kucombine marora aya zvotoita right. Takataura pamusoro pe 3 impulse purchases, zvingori impromptu wakutotenga zvinhu zvangasimbori pabudget.
Impulse buying.
Yeah.
Now, let me just buy.
So we want now to continue on wrong reasons that people they must avoid borrowing for. Day-to-day expenses, weekend. Borrowing for wrong reasons, for day-to-day expenses. Borrowing must be reserved for more significant investment or emergencies, not for day-to-day expenses. It's the era of the highest order, to sustain your breakfast, lunch, and supper on a borrowed money. You know, to some people it becomes a lifestyle, you know, of living on day-to-day on borrowed funds, on day-to-day expenses. We're talking about transport, we're talking about groceries, we're talking about utilities. These are the things that a person must hustle, work hard to make sure that you cover this. And the moment that you want to borrow, you must borrow, you know, for significant things, you know, things that really adds value in your life, not for consumption purposes. You know, we're talking about the psychology of debt. The poor people, they borrow to buy living expenses. The middle class, they borrow to buy liabilities like a car. And the rich people, they borrow to buy assets that bring in money. So this is the difference that we see in people. So we must not come to that space whereby we are borrowing for day-to-day expenses. It means that there is an era in your life, you are in a deep financial crisis, and you must come out. You must be comfortable with that kind of a lifestyle. And one thing that exacerbates this kind of scenario is that you know, we have got people who would want to maintain a lifestyle that they can't afford. So you end up borrowing for day-to-day expenses. But when you watch that full breakfast, full breakfast in a bacon.
English breakfast.
In mushrooms. Yeah? So you realize what appetite inofana kucontrol zvinonzi kuti munhu handisati apasvika palevel iyi wosiyana nazvo. Saka it is a very imperative to practice financial discipline and living within your means. Zvinotibatsira izvozvozvo. Then as we continue, number 5, wrong reasons for borrowing. Gambling, borrowing for gambling purposes. You know, there are people out there weekend who are borrowing for gambling. You know, using borrowed money for gambling. It's a very, very big no. Ma casino, ma sports bet. Una varume vakuru vakazara ma sports bet. Andika vachida kubeja. But these things, you know, severe consequences because you know, that's why they are called games of chance. You know, they are designed or fashioned in such a way that the house will always win. There is a higher probability that the house always wins. Saka chances ekunyura munjuga akanyanya. Saka ungatore borrowed money, we don't tamba njuga, we don't tamba sports bet. It's the era of the highest order. So these are the things that must we must say, no, I must not borrow for this. You know, that mindset yekuda kutotamba iyo njuga iyo yacho weekend yekutenda mubhiza kana muimbo more than the ability yakaiswa naMwari mauri kubhejera, you know, bhiza uri kubhilivha muability ine mumwe murume Cristiano Ronaldo usingatarise imwe ability yakaiswa mauri uda kuibhejera. You know, that's a very, very big mistake that people do. Saka we must not borrow for gambling. Then number 6, borrowing to buy a luxurious car. You know, a car is a depreciating asset, and it can even be called a liability if it doesn't bring any income. So you can't borrow. You can't borrow for the sake of buying a personal luxurious car. It's an error of the highest order. The fact that you can borrow or find money to buy a car does not mean that you can afford that car. Most of us, we buy cars that we can't even afford. You know, before you buy these German brands like the Mercedes, BM, VW, and so forth, the Audi and so forth, you know, you must take into consideration, can you maintain the car? The servicing cost that is needed for that car, the fuel that it consumes. Pane zvimwe zvimota zvine engine capacity weekend yekuti chinenge chiri chigazela chichirova fuel zvokutodaro handitika parking fees, matoll gates chao akakwira. There are a number of things, insurance, motoda insurance, radio, there are so many costs that are involved. Saka fact yekuti wakwanisa kuwana mari yekutenga mota kana kuti unogona kuwana access yekubhorowa mari hazvinoti unogona kuiafforda that car. So most of people vane motikari they don't afford it. Have you ever seen people vanodriva motikari 5 days a week?
Yeah.
Vatoipeka because salary yacho haichakwanisa kuti akwanisa. So we buy cars that we can't afford. So it's a highest error for you to borrow money to buy a car that you can't even afford. Yeah. Then number 7, high risk investments. Borrowing money in order for you to invest in ventures that are high risk. This can expose you to significant financial losses. Investments generally, they carry some degree of risk, but using borrowed funds amplifies the potential consequences of this. Saka unaona munhu achinoborrowa mari achida kuinvesta pa stock market kuda kutenga ma shares. You know, when we look at the stock market, it's generally highly unpredictable, and there's no guarantee. You know, you want to buy low,